Before this video starts, try something. Put your phone down. Not in your hand, not in your pocket. Place it on the other side of the room, far enough that you would have to stand up to reach it. Do it now. I'll wait. Now ask yourself one simple question. How long will it take before you feel the urge to check it? 30 seconds? 1 minute? Maybe less. Pay attention to what happens inside you. You may begin thinking about the phone. Your fingers may become restless. You may even look toward it without realizing. And the moment its screen lights up, your hand may start moving before you consciously decide to check it. That impulse is not random, and it does not mean that you are weak. It begins inside your brain. Every time your phone gives you something interesting, a message, a new video, or an unexpected update, your brain learns to connect the device with the possibility of a reward. Dopamine helps reinforce that learning. Dopamine is not simply the chemical of pleasure. It also helps your brain notice, anticipate, and remember things that may be worth repeating. After enough repetition, your phone does not need to make a sound. Its presence alone can become a signal. But here's what makes this loop so powerful. You never know what the next check will give you. Sometimes there is nothing. Sometimes there is a message. And sometimes there is something surprising, exciting, or emotionally rewarding. That uncertainty keeps your brain checking. A cue creates an urge. The urge leads to an action. The action sometimes produces a reward. And that reward strengthens the loop. Repeat this often enough, and checking your phone stops feeling like a deliberate decision. It begins to feel automatic. The real cost is not only the time you spend looking at the screen. It is what happens to your attention. Every interruption forces your brain to switch contexts, from studying to checking, and then back to studying again. But your attention does not always return immediately. Part of it may remain attached to what you just saw. This is often described as attention residue. You may be looking at your work while part of your mind is still somewhere else. The result is shallower thinking, slower learning, and a growing difficulty staying with anything that does not provide instant stimulation. The solution is not to hate technology, and it is not to fight yourself with willpower every second of the day. A better strategy is to change the environment around the habit. First, create physical distance. During focused work, place your phone in a drawer, a bag, or another room. If you cannot see it, your brain receives fewer cues to check it. Second, turn off every notification that does not require an immediate response. Your phone should not decide when your attention moves. Third, choose specific times to check it. When checking becomes intentional, the urge loses part of its power. At first, the silence may feel uncomfortable. But every time you notice the urge and choose not to obey it immediately, you are practicing control. Your brain learns through repetition. The same brain that learned to check can learn to wait. The same attention that became fragmented can become stronger again. So keep your phone where you placed it at the beginning of this video, and notice what happens inside you. You do not need to reject technology. You need to decide when it deserves your attention, because your attention shapes what you learn, what you create, and who you become. Protect it. But the habit of checking your phone does not remain inside the phone. Over time, it can begin shaping the way you pay attention to everything else. Your brain adapts to what you repeatedly ask it to do. If you spend hours moving rapidly between short videos, messages, headlines, and notifications, your attention becomes familiar with constant change. A new image, a new sound, a new idea, a new reward. Then, when you return to something slower, a book, a lesson, a conversation, or a difficult task, the experience may feel unusually uncomfortable. Not because the task has become impossible, but because your brain has become accustomed to faster stimulation. This affects more than concentration. It can also place pressure on your working memory. Working memory is the small mental space you use to hold and process information for a short period of time. It helps you follow an explanation, solve a problem, understand what you were reading, and remember what you were about to do. But every unnecessary interruption introduces new information into that limited space. A message, a headline, a short video, a new thought. When too many things compete for that space, important information can disappear before your brain has time to use it. This is why you may open your phone for one reason, become distracted by something else, and then forget why you picked it up. There's another change that is easier to miss. Your tolerance for boredom can begin to shrink. A quiet elevator, a short queue, a meal alone, a few minutes before sleep. Moments that once allowed your mind to rest are quickly filled with stimulation. But boredom is not always useless. When external stimulation becomes quiet, your mind has space to reflect, connect ideas, remember unfinished thoughts, and generate new ones. If every empty moment is immediately filled, you may lose some of the mental space where reflection and creativity begin. The effect also appears when you try to learn. Deep learning requires staying with one idea long enough to understand it. You need time to connect new information with what you already know. But if your attention is interrupted repeatedly, you may recognize information without understanding it deeply. You may finish a page without remembering what it said. You may watch an entire lesson while absorbing only fragments. And you may spend more time working while producing less meaningful progress. Then there's sleep. Using a stimulating phone late at night can delay the moment you decide to sleep. Bright light and emotionally engaging content may also make it harder for your mind to settle. And when sleep becomes shorter or less consistent, attention, memory, mood, and self-control can all feel weaker the following day. That makes the phone harder to resist, and the cycle begins again. None of this means that your brain is permanently damaged. It means that your brain has adapted to a pattern, and what has been trained through repetition can be retrained through repetition. But first, you need to see the pattern clearly. Once you can see the pattern, you can begin changing it. But do not start by trying to remove your phone from your life completely. A dramatic digital detox may feel powerful for a day. But if your environment, routines, and triggers remain unchanged, the old behavior can return as soon as the detox ends. A better reset begins with awareness. For one day, notice when you reach for your phone without a clear purpose. Do not judge yourself. Simply notice the trigger. Was the task becoming difficult? Were you bored? Were you anxious? Or did you see the phone and reach for it automatically? You cannot redesign a habit you never notice. Next, add friction. Move distracting applications away from your home screen. Sign out of the services you open automatically. Turn off unnecessary notifications. And during important work, keep the phone far enough away that checking it requires a deliberate action. The goal is not to make the phone impossible to use. The goal is to create a pause between the urge and the action. Then begin training sustained attention. Choose one important task. Set a short focus period. You can begin with 25 minutes. During that period, work on only one thing. Keep a piece of paper beside you. If another thought appears, write it down instead of leaving the task. When the focus period ends, take a short break. Then repeat. As your attention becomes stronger, gradually extend the focus period. The next skill is learning how to experience an urge without immediately obeying it. When you feel the impulse to check your phone, pause. Take one slow breath. Notice where you feel the urge in your body. Then wait for a few seconds before deciding what to do. You are not fighting the urge. You're creating space around it. Sometimes you will still choose to check the phone, but now it becomes a decision instead of an automatic reaction. You should also practice small periods of intentional boredom. Wait in a queue without opening an application. Take a short walk without constant audio. Eat part of a meal without a screen. Sit quietly for 5 minutes. These moments may feel uncomfortable at first. That discomfort is part of the training. You're teaching your brain that silence does not need to be escaped. Finally, protect the beginning and the end of your day. Do not let your phone become the first thing that enters your mind every morning. And do not let it become the last thing your brain processes before sleep. Create a place where the phone rests at night. If possible, keep it away from the bed. Give yourself at least 30 quiet minutes before sleep. This reset does not require perfection. You will become distracted again. You will sometimes check without thinking. That is not failure. The important moment is the moment you notice. Because every time you return to your intention, you are repeating the behavior you want your brain to learn. Your attention was not lost in one day, and it will not return in one day, but it can return, one deliberate choice at a time. Now, look at the place where you left your phone at the beginning of this video. Did you think about it while you were watching? Did you feel the urge to reach for it? If you did, that was not a failure. That was the pattern becoming visible. So here is your challenge. For the next 24 hours, do not try to completely change your life. Change only 4 moments. During one important task, place your phone in another room and complete one uninterrupted focus session. Turn off every notification that does not require an immediate response. Spend 5 minutes with no screen, no music, no podcast, and no new information. And during the final 30 minutes before sleep, leave your phone away from your bed. When the urge to check it appears, do not immediately fight it. Notice it. Pause. Take one slow breath. Then choose what you want to do. Tomorrow, ask yourself, did silence become easier? Did the urge lose some of its power? Did my attention feel more like my own? Before you leave, answer one question in the comments. How long did it take before you first wanted to check your phone? Your answer might be 30 seconds, 5 minutes, or the entire video. The number is not the point. Awareness is. Technology should serve your choices, not replace them. If this video helped you recognize the pattern, subscribe. We will continue learning how your mind works and how to take back control. Protect your attention, because your attention is shaping your life.